So how does it work? Well, last week you learned how to make really vivid mental images to remember something, to make them wild, to make them interesting and strange, so that they stick in your mind and enable you to summon them instantly. This week, we're going to be talking about fitting those images into our spatial memory. That's important because for humans like you and me, our spatial memory is really the memory we're evolved to be best at. We're just meant to know how to get to the next cave, how to get to that valley where the deer go, where that juicy root sprouts. So we can take that memory skill and think about a place we know well. You could think about your home. You could think about a walk you go on. But think about a sequence of places that you're very used to walking through. And in each of those places, there are a sequence of locations. When I walk into my home, for example, first I walk through the door. Then I'm in a hallway. I walk along the hallway and I come into the kitchen. I walk through the kitchen and I'm in the living room. That's a journey. And because it's a journey that's easy for me to imagine myself walking along using that spatial memory. Now, the Memory Palace method is to take that journey and place along the way strange, weird, vivid images that match what you're trying to remember. In every room, I'm going to put 5 or 6 objects, not in real life, but I'm going to imagine 5 or 6 objects that trigger my memory of what I'm trying to memorize. To make it all a bit clearer, I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to use this method to memorize Mark Antony's great Friends, Romans, Countrymen speech from Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. Now, the first line, Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. Ears. Yes, a giant ear on the front door, so that as soon as I'm ready to come into my home, I see this weird, fleshy ear, the size of me, just growing from the door. Horrible and unforgettable. I open the door. What do I see? I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. I see some people with spades, and they're in my front hall, but they're digging a hole. They're burying, they're digging a grave. What's next? The evil that men do lives on after them. No sooner have I walked past this grave being dug in my hallway than I turn to the coat pegs where I want to hang up my coat. What's there? Bursting through the wall is a zombie, the evil dead. It's stretching out for me. It's got drool on its mouth. I can see its rotting flesh. Make the image vivid. Next line. The good is oft interred with their bones. Next to the coat rack is the shoe rack. And sitting there among my shoes is a tiny angel made of bones. Bone wings, a little bone halo. Good and bones. So now, I see the door, that's an ear. I walk in, someone's burying something. I see the coat rack, a zombie's bursting from it. And I look down at my shoes, and there's a little bone angel. All very morbid, but very hard to forget, at least for me. Well, I'm done with the hallway, and I'm going to walk towards the kitchen. And as I walk past John Lennon, Paul McCartney, and the Beatles, and they're singing Let It Be. Because the line is, so let it be with Caesar. And as I come towards that kitchen door, my next line is, the noble Brutus has told you that Caesar was ambitious. So I'm going to concentrate on nobility. In fact, the doorframe has been decorated with a crown. It's got robes flowing from it. This is the most noble doorframe you've ever seen. I walk through it. Now I'm in the kitchen. What's there? If it were so, it was a grievous fault. And sure enough, there's a fault line, a great rip all the way along the floor of the kitchen. Oh, that's horrible. I'm going to have to fix it. It's going to trip me up. I hate it. It is a grievous fault. And grievously has Caesar answered it. Because on the kitchen counter, there's a ringing phone. A red one. With one of those old-fashioned handles. And I'm going to have to pick it up. And I'm going to have to answer it. So let's recap. We've got the ear growing from the door. We've got the grave diggers digging a grave in the hallway. We've got a zombie bursting from the coat rack. We've got this bone angel among the shoes. We walk down the hallway and there are the Beatles singing Let It Be. I come to the doorframe and it's so noble, so royal. I walk through it into the kitchen and there's a fault line on the floor. And finally, I notice the ringing phone that I must answer. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives on after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus has told you that Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, 'twas a grievous fault. And grievously has Caesar answered it.